you've mentioned that this current incarnation of Uncle, and especially this album, The Road Part 1, is the most enjoyable album that you've made. I mean, how would you sum up the level of focus as this one was coming together?
It just felt like a sort of new beginning. It's been a very sort of joyful recording process. Last albums, you know, I think it's just part of life and your journey through life, but definitely, you know, there was a lot of chaos and there was a lot of drama, and this record was just, it was just a really great process to make it, and it just felt a lot more grounded, and yeah.
And you know, I understand. I mean, this is also the first record which was kind of like a solo record for you. I mean, even though there are collaborations throughout, this record was very much for you.
Yeah.
You know, it had a singular feel. I mean, was that key for you?
Yeah, I think it's pretty key for, you know, I'd obviously been partners with people throughout the whole, you know, Uncle journey up until now, and those relationships had all come mainly out of sort of MOAX and you know, that period of one's life, and this just was a new, fresh beginning for me, having come out of quite a lot of sort of quite a negative process, you know, towards the end of the last Uncle situation. So I just wanted to make a record where I felt like we were building a record from the ground up rather than from the top down. It always felt like you were building a pyramid, but you were starting at the top, and a lot of sort of, you know, a lot of extra emotional baggage which was going on, and I think with this record it just felt that I could just do the things that I wanted to do, that, you know, some of the things I haven't been able to do before. Things, you know, I wanted to make what I felt was a kind of what for me were the elements that I like about the music that I make, and bring and trying to shape and create something that had that singular vision, really.
Do you feel there's a new lease of life with your live offerings? I mean, I understand you played Istanbul recently, and you know, it's constantly evolving, the live format. I mean, how do you foresee the live? I mean, is it something that's giving you more confidence?
Yeah, I mean, I love playing live, and you know, over the last sort of couple of years, I did Meltdown, and that was this huge performance. It was like 80 people on stage, choir and strings, and Esker and Lanigan and Keaton Henson, and you know, amongst Esker and, you know, amongst many other people, Shadow. And then I did some shows last year, just to sort of get back in that headspace, and started at Istanbul, about to go to Madrid this week, and St. Petersburg, and yeah, I'm really really excited about the place. It's where it is right now. You know, Dorian Mink, who sings on the album, singing with us. There's me, Dorian. There's a really great singer called Fran. It's actually, the new shows is a bit more of a soulful vibe to the way that the vocals are being done, and I think it's really interesting to hear the songs being interpreted in that way. So yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to playing shows. So I'm playing Thursday and Friday this week. So.
Yeah. And it's almost been 20 years since Science Fiction. I know you've got a reissue of this coming out. I mean, you know, when you look back on such a formidable body of work, you know, and you had individuals like Richard Ashcroft, Cool G Rap, and Tom York on board. I mean, when you look back at that body of work, what resonates with you? I mean, I know is it like a snapshot in time for you?
Yeah, I mean, you know, obviously when you know, records are like diaries of your life, especially when you've made them, and I think, you know, we can all take songs and remember moments when you heard it first. You know, it might be your first love affair, or your first, you know, live concert, or whatever it may be. These experiences, they can really pinpoint a period of time. So if I listen to Science Fiction, it will bring up a lot of the past, and you know, where you were at in your life. I mean, for me, it was just this sort of naive monster that you know, it sometimes I think back, I'm like, I don't even know how we did it, really. You know, just how, you know, all those people came together in a pre-internet time.
For you, does being immersed in music, does that help you overcome stress and anxiety hurdles?
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of escapism. It's sort of great, you know, it helps you understand, distance yourself, find yourself in a very strange universe that we seem to exist in at the moment.
And outside of music, how do you like to keep the mindset fresh, given all the bedlam in the world and so much so much of negativity? I mean, what do you do to keep the mindset fresh?
I try and have a quite quiet life, and I enjoy sort of very organic things. And I have a 20-year-old daughter, and the relationship I'm in, and all those things are my escapism from madness. For me, art and is a big influence, and film, and just being able to engage in that world to inspire me to give me another place to think.
You mentioned film. I mean, you paid tribute to Stanley Kubrick's works at Somerset House with over 60 other artists. That must have been some experience.
Yeah, that was one of the most amazing things that I've been able to pull off for me. I worked on it for 5 years. He was one of my heroes, and the opportunity to be able to be trusted and work on a legacy of somebody like that is incredibly humbling, and was just amazing. And to be able to work with this amazing group of artists and bring all those things together and create this experience, it was pretty special for me.
As you look ahead, with this current incarnation of UNKLE and with whatever collaborators that come on board in the foreseeable future, I mean, what's your biggest incentive? What drives you most artistically?
To make to be able to collaborate, to make things. I love making things, and what I like making is based around music. It's the artwork, it's the videos, it's the shows, it's all the stuff, and being able to share and collaborate in that way is it's kind of what one does. It's the fabric of who I am. It's all I know what to do anyway. I don't know if I get a job anywhere else. So I'm also, life presents itself in different ways, and I've had a pretty interesting 20 years. Some very good things and some pretty hard things. And I think for me right now, it's really about being able to look at myself and reflect on the past, but move to the future, and sort of enjoy what I do, and make and try and do it in the best possible way, and lose some of the madness and that was around in the past, and just have a really I just want to it's that thing of where you go as an artist as you get older, and understanding things, and I'm fascinated by people that are both what I'm discovering in new generations, which is really exciting, working with people like Elliot Power and Mink and Yeezy and Keaton and all these amazing young artists, to what I can do and what I can produce as I'm getting older. I want it to be better. I want it to be more beautiful. I want it to be more considered. I want to be able to grow. And so I'm also very interested in artists that are my age and older, and how their careers and how they've shaped their lives. Because when you've got something like David Bowie, puts out arguably one of his best records ever at the end of his life, or Leonard Cohen writing Hallelujah when he was in his 50s, or James Brown putting Hell out when he was in his 40s, that's interesting to me, as well as looking at and understanding the past, and being inspired by what's coming up and new people, and that's so for me it's I feel like I'm in a sort of kind of a bit of a new beginning, really. In many ways I'm just starting. I feel like I'm just sort of starting.